Hey, Big Brother fans, I've got your veto meeting results because guess what? POV winner Mickey did play her golden power of veto, forcing Vince to make a renom. All that, plus we've got some insane Rachel, Keanu, and Kelly stuff going on. We got Hug Gate, we've got Winegate, we've got bully bashing, and some other whatnot. It's Belinda. Please click subscribe. Let's get into it. Before we talk about the veto meeting today, let's talk about last night with Kelly and Rachel. I know if you don't watch the feeds, you may not be aware of just how aggressive of an instigator that Kelly is. I see a lot of people on the hashtag, oh, Kelly's getting bullied. No, maybe you're the same people that thought Reilly was just a really sweet, shy guy with a crush. No, you got to watch the feeds. Kelly likes to pit people against each other, and Keanu and Rachel are two of her top choices, but she does it with others too. Kelly stirs the pot all she can. Everybody knows it. Vince called her out on it. He's asked her to stop. It is well known in the BB27 house. It's why a lot of house guests not only want her evicted, but also do not want her in jury, because Kelly has a mean streak and she is a shiz stirrer just for fun. Mickey said, quote, I don't want Kelly's crazy ASS in jury. And if she's on the block this week, she is likely going. If she is on the block, if she doesn't win the blockbuster. So that's just a little bit of context. Second piece of context is this. Rachel has gone out of her way to try and work with Kelly and be nice to her. Kelly is on and off nice to her face and then is mean behind her back. And this is not in defense of Rachel. This is just context. One specifically disturbing example is Kelly says she wants Rachel out, but not until jury, because she wants Rachel to miss her anniversary so she will be alone and miserable without Brendan in the jury house. What even is that? That is just mean and not gameplay. That is a personal attack. So Vince told Rachel what Kelly said about wanting her in the jury house to miss her anniversary, and that was like a break point for Rachel when it comes to Kelly. And she's tried with her, you know? So let's talk about Hug Gate. Lots of casuals on the hashtag saying Rachel was horrible to Kelly. No. Here's what happened. Rachel was sitting outside chatting with Mickey, Will, and Morgan, and Kelly comes over and wanted to sit down. Rachel did say there's no room on the hammock. And Kelly sat down on the grass where a couple other people were sitting. Everybody wasn't on the hammock. And they were talking, and then Kelly decides to head off to bed. She hugs Mickey. Kelly tried to hug Rachel, and she said, no thanks, I don't need a hug. Kelly asks Rachel, why? And says, what did I do? And then Kelly turns to the others, what did I do? Rachel said, I just don't want a hug. She didn't want a hug, but was trying to diffuse it. Kelly asked, is it because I won't clean? If you haven't heard, Kelly's on a cleaning strike and she won't help around the house. Rachel was very obviously sarcastic and said, yes, Kelly, that's exactly why I don't want a hug. Kelly just can't stop. She says, I don't think I've done anything to any of you in this room. I can't think of one thing I've done wrong, so I'm going to bed. She did get hugs from Will, Morgan, and Ashley, and then she clomped off. Once she was gone, Rachel said, I'm entitled to not accept a hug. Mickey said, yeah, you're entitled to your own body. Will totally lost it, broke out laughing, and Will said that he was trying not to look at Rachel because if he did, he would have burst out laughing at the moment. Rachel said, this is on top of the Winegate shiz. So I'm going to touch on Winegate in case you haven't heard about that. I don't even know if they're going to show any of this on the episode. So Rachel cooked this big dinner for Lauren's birthday, and because the have-nots were coming off their slot punishment. So all this effort, big dinner, they're all sitting around family style, and somebody suggested, I can't remember who it was, maybe Ava, say something nice about the person next to you. So everybody's going around, everything's fine. At one point, Rachel stood up quietly while Vince was getting his compliment, and she poured herself another glass of wine, and then she went back and sat down. And Kelly says something like, oh my gosh. So Kelly later turned that into Rachel pouring wine a certain way and making a certain face because she was upset that Vince was having nice things said about him. So that's part of what annoyed Rachel and why she wouldn't hug Kelly. That really more so, the anniversary comment was more so than that. So there's all this stuff on the hashtag about Kelly being bullied. Kelly is the bully. For me, I'm of the FAFO mindset. And as my mom always said, don't start no shit and there won't be no shit. Kelly is starting it. After Rachel wouldn't hug her, Kelly ran upstairs to the HOH room. She's crying on Keanu, who she also likes to hate on behind his back. And Kelly was literally telling him Rachel won't hug her because she won't clean the house, which isn't true, but it's pretty funny. Kelly was crying to a whole bunch of people saying Rachel's being mean. She's at this point trying to get Vince to renom her. It's very transparent. Keanu saw through it and told Kelly, look, you need to stop this. People are either going to say you're nuts or that you're deliberately provoking Rachel. And that's coming from Keanu. So that's a lot, and he never has a good read. So it's a good game move for Vince to renom Rachel, but only if she's evicted. Otherwise, it's a very risky move. And here's what Kelly doesn't know is, this is kind of funny. They sent White Claw into the house, which Kelly really likes. Rachel doesn't like. And she was so mad at her at that point over the anniversary stuff. She opened them up and poured them down the sink and was telling, I think, Ashley and Morgan, I don't even like it. I just wasn't going to let her have it. So clearly, Kelly has pushed Rachel beyond the limit, and this is what happens when you instigate things. Things come back on you. It's called karma. But just don't get it twisted that Kelly's a sweet, innocent thing out here just being randomly bullied. Go back and watch some clips. Go to the hashtag and keyword search Kelly crazy and just look at the multitude of clips. She does this at home, apparently, because Kelly said her own sister calls her an instigator. That tells you something. Meanwhile, somebody else read Rachel for filth, and it was well-deserved. Attorney Ashley took her client, Rachel, right to court. Ashley said she wanted to strangle Rachel for going to Keanu after Vince told her Keanu wanted her renominated. Ashley chewed her out and told Rachel, I argued my butt off to keep you off the block. And she said, Keanu's trying to blow up your game, and it's working because of you. Ashley told her if it's a tie, Vince won't break the tie in Rachel's favor if she's on the block because she broke Vince's trust by going to Keanu. Ashley kept on. She told Rachel that she was in a good position with Vince, and now she's not because of the Keanu confrontation. But Ashley also said she did try and scare Vince into not renoming her by saying Rachel has the votes to stay. So she listened to Ashley, heard her out, and Rachel admitted, yes, I did wrong. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did it. And she says she's not going to talk to Keanu about anything else. And then petty Rachel came back out and she went down to Keanu's bed and she took back Jimmy's sweater that she had let Keanu borrow. And I don't blame her for that. You crap on me, you don't get to keep my stuff you borrowed. Late last night, Morgan rushed to get hold of Vince after he got out of a long DR because Keanu had been lurking trying to get hold of him. She and Lauren both finally agreed with Vince that Catherine is the smart renom because she is not going to stop coming for Vince because he flipped to vote against Reilly. So Mickey was in with Vince after Morgan. Keanu was trying to get in to pressure Vince about Rachel, but Mickey actually locked him out of the HOH room. And we're at this point talking like 3 a.m. Mickey was telling Vince that sending out Kelly on his HOH is very good for his resume because she is a comp winner and nobody in the house likes her. So Keanu was lurking and lurking and lurking. Then he pretended to go to bed. So Vince and Mickey thought he had gone to bed, so she left the HOH room 3:30 a.m. Keanu gets out of bed. He comes dashing back up there, trying to get the last word in. Vince said, it's too late to talk. No, send him away. Ashley already warned Vince that it's coming off like Keanu is running his HOH. So bottom line, it was either going to be Rachel or Catherine as the renom, and Vince was waffling close to up until the feeds went down. Mickey, Ashley, and Morgan have all told him, don't renom Rachel. It's not the time. You don't have the votes. Catherine promised she's not coming for him and was pushing Rachel as the renom, but Catherine's totally coming for him. Just before the veto meeting, Rachel was the last person in Vince's ear. And although Keanu was lurking outside the HOH door, waiting, trying to get the last word, it looks like he did not get a turn before the veto ceremony. The feeds went down around noon, Big Brother time, came back up about an hour later, and Vince's renom was Catherine. And when Keanu tried to talk to Rachel, after the ceremony, she said, "I'm not talking to you," and just cut him and walked away. I love that Keanu has been caught out because he has been running his mouth all over the place. You play stupid games with both sides of the house and you're going to win stupid prizes eventually. The final nominees this week are Kelly and Catherine, sitting next to ultra safe pawn Ava.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.